Hi, my name is Pam Heneberry and I'd like to give you a warm welcome to the TUC Wales Tools and Techniques for Wellbeing. Today's session is going to look at self-awareness, so very much around the idea, how well do we know ourselves? How much time do we give to thinking and being aware of our ideas, our thoughts, our feelings, how we behave in certain situations, what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, what our talents are. And the idea is that spending time becoming more self-aware is really useful for us in terms of our own development, in terms of making sure that we make educated decisions about what we do and how we do it. And I have a sense that particularly in these times of great change, being self-aware is really important. I know more and more people are thinking about, how do I want to live my life? What's important to me? How do I want my work life to look in the future? Really important questions, ones that we should perhaps ask ourselves often and don't. But becoming more aware of ourselves at this particular time, I think, is very useful. My colleague Sally has recorded a session around values, and I think that you might find, if you've enjoyed this session, you might want to go and check the value session out, or vice versa, because I think they fit really nicely alongside each other. I'm going to show you a particular tool in a moment and talk you through, and then give you some ideas perhaps on what you might do with this tool. So what you have here is a tool called Johari's window, named after the two psychologists who came up with the idea, Joseph Luft and Harrington Ingham. And they put this idea together in the 1950s. And what they said was that for all of us, we have 4 parts to our understanding of ourselves. So I'll just talk you through each of these parts and see if they make sense to you. So the first part is the arena, or the open part of ourselves. This is where we share information about ourselves. So it's the things that we're really happy telling people about ourselves. Our thoughts, our ideas, our aspirations, our background, all of that we are comfortable to put into the public domain. So they are known to us and they are also known to others. The second part of this Johari's window, the second square, looks at the hidden, or what's sometimes known as the mask. So these are the things that we are aware of about ourselves, we understand, but we're not comfortable about sharing those understandings about ourselves with other people. So we hide them away. And sometimes people talk about hiding behind a mask. And I think that really resonates here. So these are the things we know, perhaps things about our shortcomings that we know about ourselves, but we don't feel comfortable or want other people to know or understand it about ourselves. The third part of Johari's window is the blind spot. And this is really interesting. This is where we have no understanding, perhaps, of our weaknesses, or it could even be our strengths, but we don't see them, we don't understand them. But other people looking in at us from perhaps a little bit more of an objective space can see these weaknesses or strengths about ourselves. And so this area particularly is where feedback can be really useful. So encouraging people to give you some feedback on perhaps what they see as your strengths and weaknesses can really help with that blind spot. The last part of Johari's window is the unknown. And this is interesting again, because it's the bits that we don't know about ourselves and nobody else knows about them. So it's pretty much deep-rooted stuff that we're talking here. Maybe prejudices that we've never turned and faced. Maybe talents that we've never had to draw from, that we've never utilized. So those are the things that we don't know yet and we don't understand, and nobody else is aware of them. So although this Johari's window is portrayed as 4 equal windows or 4 equal boxes, the idea behind it is that if you are in a relationship, in work, or indeed outside of work, in a home environment, if you feel comfortable and you trust people that you're with, then the open part of Johari's window will be much bigger than as it's portrayed at the moment in this particular PowerPoint. So if you're with people that you trust, that you feel respect for, that you feel respected by, then your open part of yourself becomes bigger. Likewise, if you're in a relationship with people in the workplace, at home, and you don't have that trust and you don't feel comfortable, then perhaps your mask is raised and the hidden part of yourself becomes larger. So the idea is to think about, perhaps, particularly in a work setting, how open am I with people? How comfortable do I feel? Do I trust these people? And if you don't trust people, perhaps it's important to ask the question, why don't I trust them? What is it that makes me be less open with people? What encourages me to be open? And what actions might I take to grow that open window so that I do feel comfortable? Remembering as well that with the blind spot, it's really great to ask people for feedback so you can minimize your blind spots. In the handout that goes with this short presentation, there are some activities and some links to more information about how you might use Johari's window. There's 1 or 2 exercises that you could do on your own, or if you're feeling particularly brave, you might decide to do them as part of a team. I do hope that this has been useful to you, and I do hope you have a go at doing the activities. I wish you luck. Many thanks.